After the horrific 2021-22 season, Derby were not only relegated, but in money trouble. And the year after that in League One, they did struggle, but this year, under One, they are promoted back to the Championship. But in this save, we get rid of Paul Warne to do a major rebuild. That's right, in this save, I have bought Derby County, and I have brought back Frank Lampard. And do you guys want kits like this one, or even this one? If you do, make sure to check out Soccer Deal Shop, link in the description. Cheap and affordable replica kits, and if you use MWS in the promo code checkout, you get yourselves 10% off. As yes, people, I've seen the views of Derby County fans are not completely sold on their manager, as this is the team. We are in the Championship, so the ratings aren't too great. I mean, we've got some players that I do want to actually play, because this squad has potential. We've got young players like Jake Rooney, Eran Cashin, one of my favourite defenders in the entire EFL, as we've got Louis Sibley as well, and Liam Thompson, who I want to use in this save. Our budget is 9 million, so it's not bad for the Championship. I can't imagine how much we would have had in League One. As also, if you're wondering how I've done it, I have relegated the teams from the Premier League, the bottom 3 currently, and the top 3 from the Championship promoted. So yes, I have had to put Leeds United up a division, as I'm going tiki-taka. I'm just gonna gamble. See if Super Frank can get his team into the playoffs with this formation, as he did years ago. Or not formation, but team, should I say, as this is the current team we have, and it is kind of strong. Lowest rated is Sibley, who I do want to play back in midfield and get a new left back to replace Forsyth. And I've got a shortlist straight away. We do have the money at this club. We've got Dylan Williams, Bora, and Ecomier as options. Now, I know Williams has played for Derby before. He's got the kit on in the picture, but I like Ecomier, if I'm even saying that right, and I think we've agreed on 2 million with Bordeaux. Very good deal. And if you're wondering where Lamps was, he's got his assistant doing the dealing, as here he comes. Very good price tag for him. But as you might have seen before on this transfer list, it's not only left backs we have, but Andreas Nemeth, as I've gone ahead and signed the Hungarian youngster for a decent price. Another 2 million for a younger backup striker, as I'm actually happy with that. That is 2 brilliant deals through the door, and now all we have to do is approach the season. Yes, it's a gamble still having £4 million unspent when we're avoiding relegation, as that's all we want to do season number 1. But I have faith we can beat Queen's Park Rangers in the opening game of the season with our youngsters. And we don't, 2-2. It is a draw. Blackett Taylor with the goal, and Dwight Gale, who is a striker who won't have long, hence the Nemeth signing, as he was on the bench and hopefully scores a few this year. And I believe we'd be alright, but we're not actually in the clear. We're just above QPR, who we got that draw with. Sheffield Wednesday and Millwall, the teams to still be below us, and we know in real life, Sheffield Wednesday like a survival. Almost doing it IRL, as this is how our team lines up, and it's not giving game time to Sibley. I'll move that position back to being a centre mid then, get him still training, and put Max Bird in. But Max Bird is only a loan player. He used to be a permanent. He got sold to Bristol City, as Blackett Taylor's on loan. That's when I didn't realise. I thought he was a permanent player, being one of our best, but still behind cash in. Love that guy, as we are going to need a new midfielder in the meantime who's permanent, and I'm going for Bosdogan. He should cost us 3 million roughly. We have 5 million left, and he's maybe going to replace Sibley if he doesn't hurry up and grow, because it'll take him 47 weeks, and I can't wait that long. We've got to survive in the Championship, so Bogstag's coming in. As here he is walking in. It cost 2.7 in the end, and I think that's a good sum of money for a player that may keep us up. And was he enough to keep Derby County in the Championship next year? That answers your question. Survived like Portsmouth did, as in the FA Cup. I'm pretty sure we had a decent cup run. We got beat by Everton. Round 4 ain't bad, as it's round 3 of the Carabao to Derby. And that is about it for cups anyway, as we've got to assess our squad. It looks like Thompson isn't playing, and that is because of Ebu Adams. Now, I know Derby County fans are big on this guy in real life, but he is 28-year-old and only on loan. So game time will go to Thompson next year anyway, as I am waiting here for a lot of players to leave. This may look excessive, but when we flick it to here, you can see all the players that are leaving are over the age of 30. That's all the permanent ones. Speaking of permanent, we didn't have a permanent top scorer. It was Tyrese John Jules, whose rating and potential I don't think will go up any higher, but Blackett Taylor, though, he could actually be useful next year. We'll have to think about that, because he was getting old, as speaking of old, the opposite is happening to Frank Lampard. He's arrived at the club and he looks very young in the face, as we've got £30 million. We'll focus on the money instead, as this team needs improving, and it's kind of gotten worse. Of course, the old players have gone, and our squad is very bare. Okay, we'll need an academy on the go, and we'll need probably a left winger and another central midfielder. As first things first, I've gone and set up an academy. I mean, we'll have to promote some of them just to have squad depth. Not that many cracking players, and Sibley still can't play centre mid. Can he play left wing quick? No, that takes 106 weeks. He's a bit useless with his inability to change position, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt, judging that he's a youth player. And it's a good job we had a lot of money, because it's not only more players we need, we've got to keep some players here, as there's some good ones going bust this year. As the first signing we are making, because we're going straight to the market, of course, no help from our youngsters, but help from this youngster. Significantly overpaid on Lamek Banda, but he looks so decent at only 74 rated. 6.2 million for our new highly rated player. Him and Cashin, you know, they've got a lot of carrying to do. Alongside this man, a new central Cypriot defender, Stelios Andreou. He's come from Boa Vista. And to waste our entire budget, we've gone and got another player from in our division this time, Taylor Gardner-Hickman. Now, I'm very excited about this team, because Andreou should be a brilliant centre-back, very young, Hickman the same, and of course Banda, who hopefully can Banda a few goals together as we aim for... had to go middle of the table. Oh, just have done something, lads. I'm looking at the team right now, and I'm thinking halfway through, mid-table was about right. But am I proven right? I'm actually not, you know, 18th in the league. We're above Burnley. Burnley must be doing terribly this year. I mean, we're doing terribly, but I envy them. That is a terrible position to be in for them, as I'm zooming in on my team, because I'm actually starting to love it. The youth we have coming through in Thompson, an actual player. Cashin now captain. And then, of course, the ones we've bought. Mendes Lang is a worry, but I think I'm going to sort him out with a position change I made. And it's not Louis Sibley. He's still got 6 weeks till he's a central midfielder. I'm very disappointed by that. He should be around here somewhere. This is the man. Tom Barkusen's going to change. I mean, he's a left winger, but he's a lot higher rated than Mendes Lang. As we had to have made improvement, because we're into our second season here, and 16th in the championship. It is slowly progressing. I didn't expect by any means Frank Lampard to do wonders, and it looks like goals conceded is a big problem for this squad. -7 we finished on. I've got to look at my defence, as we made it through to round 3 of the FA Cup to be beaten by Blackburn Rovers. And then only round 2 of the Carabao. Bournemouth beating us there, as I'm going to go back off this menu straight to the team, which looks decent. I mean, Barkusen's been playing, so that's a good swap that we made. And I don't understand how his defence is that bad. Niambe, questionable. I actually think he's older than Wilson, so Wilson can go in. But the rest of them look good. Is this man our problem? Joe Wildsmith, our goalkeeper, who has submitted a transfer request, never clocked that. Give us a decent budget and we will get rid of him next year as our top scorer at the club. Of course it was Banda. A brilliant unknown signing, that one, which of course I'm aiming for this year as our budget, another 13 million. As this year we know we probably need to replace Wildsmith, and Barkusen's a no-no, but he can drop to the bench. As when he does, the bench looks pretty strong, apart from a striker. So backup striker and a right winger. and goalkeeper. With the money we have, that should be easy, shouldn't it? As I want to be aiming for where we are now. Playoffs this season. And not alphabetically playoffs, actual playoffs this year, as I brought a player back as a big first signing. Lamps is reunited with Harry Wilson, one of his stars from when he almost got Derby promoted. They reached the final together and did beat Leeds United on the way, so he is a huge player, coming for 4 million. So yes, he's a little bit old, and same with our backup striker, Louis Apere from Northampton, but for cheap, as I've tried to save all the money possible for a goalkeeper, and I think Antonio Gomez is the answer for the whole save. If he wants to stay, of course, as this man didn't want to stay. Joel Wildsmith is straight out. Bye-bye, going to Luton. As I believe we've got the better end of the deal right here, bringing our Spanish goalkeeper in from La Liga. And why are you smiling, you may ask? Well, what did I say we wanted? Playoffs. Where are we? Playoff positions. 4th in the championship is a lot better than I expected. I thought we'd be fighting near the bottom of them, but here we go, fighting at the top. West Brom, I can't lie, they looked like they were winning the league, as it is Louis Apere, top scorer for the club. Who would have thought that? The Scottish backup coming in. I mean, he is quite good for Northampton, but I did not expect that. I was checking expecting to see Banda, Nemeth and Wilson. That's why I was smiling in the first place. Them 3 are brilliant. Along with the rest of the team, there's some unhappy faces in here. And one thing that's made me chuckle, we've got Wilson and Wilson on the right-hand side. Tom Hanks will be furious. And these are the ratings overall. Not only am I checking the rating, but the age of the players as well. Apart from Harry Wilson, everyone's under 25. So this squad is not only good now, but good enough for the future. And where will that future be, I hear you asking? The screen. As the screen says, maybe the Premier League? Only 1 point off Burnley and 4 off top of the league. We could have grabbed that title. Instead, we don't, and I'm sick of checking the cup competitions unless we're winning them. To be fair, we got to a quarter-final. That should help our money next year at least, as the squad probably not Premier League quality. But who am I to say? Because if we beat Southampton, we must be almost quality. A 1-1 draw in the first leg. That's alright. That's okay. We know Lamp likes a comeback. He did it against Leeds before with Derby. And he does it here. As the Premier League will either be Borough or Derby's. Can we reach the promised land? We do on penalties. Osdogan was the scorer, and he scored in the game in extra time as well. Liam Thompson in normal time. The Derby young lad, now 75 rated, takes his team up the league, as Wilson scored most goals. As that is a great feeling. Premier League salvation for the county, but there's a lot of work to be done. We've got some ratings that may survive in the Premier League around the squad, apart from right back Wilson. And the bench makes me feel pretty sick. Apere, we know, scored loads of goals, but we've got Rooney, we've got Barkhuizen. We've got no one of quality. No one to make an impact, so if we don't have 100 million, I'll be definitely looking at free agents to bolster our squad. As it's 56 million. Okay, that's good enough. I can spend on some first teamers and then get some first teamers from free agents. As is the teams worse off than us? Well, Derby fans would say Nottingham Forest. There's West Brom in here, Leeds, Leicester. I've got to try and get this team surviving somehow. So the first signing is an ex-Chelsea player for Lamps. One I believe he never actually coached or never actually played with, of course. It is Timo Bakayoko, only for the bench, but one to have on board, as I've been very savvy with the money. The next one in the club is Connor Barron from Milan. Cheap and cheerful, that one. Alongside this man for the bench, we've got Bauzoa coming across from AZ Alkmaar. A huge fan, but of course we're not done there. We've got an ex-Barcelona right back sorted. It is Oscar Mingueza, who I believe is a decent player. He's got a bit of potential, despite being probably in his prime. As he is 27, but you can see he's our best player in the squad, and our bench has got better. but we're not done yet. As yes, welcome to the club, Augustin Ojeda, who I believe will be the next Messi and Wilson's replacement. As is he showing enough to be that replacement though, as I did put him straight in, and we are above the relegation zone. Yes, we've done a bit of a Nottingham Forest with the money, but we've done it with less money, and we are above the rivals. So I'd say good job so far. We've got 8 million left somehow. I didn't think we had any money at all. Guess we have though. That's fine. I will take that money, and will I spend it this year? Is there another player? And call me shocked, but there won't be another signing because I've just realised the contracts, and that's going to be an issue. But the issue of players is sorted. The issue with our team is also sorted because no one's leaving and no one's leaving this league. Apart from Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest, the rivals of course, and West Brom. We survive by 1 point in the end. That's actually huge as we lose in round 4 of the FA Cup and round 2 of the Carabao to Bournemouth, who went down. Love that we've avoided the drop, but not loving the team. There's a few halts here. Ekomie's been a while here. Seeing as this man's been here from the start and been trained from the start, he's not that high rated as our best player was Nemeth. And season number 5, that's put me in a bit of a pickle because I was thinking this guy wasn't good enough for our ambitions. 24-year-old, 76 rated. Is it time we got a new striker? I think maybe so. As we've been given 55 million, so almost the same as last year. Usually it goes down, as the team's of course not going down. It shouldn't want to go down. We're covered on wingers and that delivery with Ojeda and Banda. We need someone to finish more goals. And that's where I believe Armando Broja will step into that role, being a headerer and having a link to Lampard. So that is going to be who the club brings in. Big Armando Broja to solve Lamp's lows. I mean, Nemeth did score quite a few goals. He's still going to be here on the bench. As £40 million though. A lot on 182 rated. Do I regret it at all though? Not one bit. We've got a young spine to the team and we'll probably have to sell to buy. As one offer that I'm thinking about, Taylor Gardner-Hickman. He's pretty decent, but Napoli want to pay us 20 million plus Marcos Llorente, who is a brilliant centre mid. Yes, he is 32-year-old, but I wouldn't mind having him. One of the first swap deals I have done in maybe ever on this channel, but he is into the club. Marcos Llorente links up. And Hickman is gone, as we've got a bit of money left now. I think we should have another 30 million. Yeah, 30 bang on. Absolutely brilliant. That is a master negotiation skill that Frank Lampard has. As with the new money we received, we've gone to his ex-club Everton to pick up Tyreek Mitchell, and the rest of the money's going on contracts. And I don't half mind the business we've been able to do, as this is the team halfway through, all over 80 rated now, and looking comfortable in the Prem, sitting 10th in the table. Could we be doing better though? With the players that we've got. As we've got Banda, we've got the captain Cashin, we've got Llorente of course, a Champions League player, or ex now of course, that he's joined us, and I said we needed a new striker, and Broja is striking. But at the end of the season, he didn't strike enough for movement as we finish in 10th, and I'm slightly underwhelmed. I expect better. Burnley and Newcastle in the final of the FA Cup as Carabao. We win the competition. Did not expect that, but we beat a Manchester City, Derby County, you know. Picking up another trophy. Yes, lads, alright. I did underestimate as I'm looking at the team and I am thinking that could have a run in, is it the Conference League? Is it the Europa League? Is it anything that we get next year? Through winning the Carabao. As I've hopped straight to the next season to see if we do have it, and it is the Conference League. Okay, but I expect that is quite good. For us, anyway. Because we could win that competition. We should have easier teams in that than the Europa League anyway. The only thing I was thinking is this team isn't Champions League quality, but if we would have won the Europa League, it would have been a straight jump to the Champions League. But of course we'll make improvements as £116 million Derby were broke years ago. Where has this come from? I mean, I don't care really all too much. I just care about spending it, as the first player that we're signing, João Palhinha from Atletico. I am sorry to Liam Thompson. I know he's been here all safe. He's going on the bench for now, as Palhinha is in. And you might have noticed in front of him, Llorente is on the downgrade, so we've brought in Mason Mount, ex-Derby, ex-Chelsea. He follows Lampard everywhere he goes, as this man's never followed him, never been near him. We've signed Alessandro, and I won't say his first name because I will know for a fact I'll butcher it. They are both left-footed centre-backs. Didn't check that before signing them. But with the team we've built, we have to be winning the Conference League. That is our number one aim. Our number two is to improve in the league. As have we managed to do that? We are above Manchester United, 8th position. It's better than 10th. Delivering on what we said we would as we win our Europa Conference group. That's actually a little bit of a tricky one. Bruges and Cluj. Rolls off the tongue, don't it? As we threw in the FA Cup. I don't want to check any of this. I just want to run straight through this season. As where did we end up? We finished 5th in the league, so at least if we don't win the Conference League, we do have Europa League still. Would have liked Champions League. Would have really liked Champions League. No movement in the Cup and no movement in the Carabao. Not like last year anyway, as we're not in the final of the Conference League. Where did we go out? We were hammered by Dynamo Zagreb. Seriously, lads, how are we letting that happen? Morale is kind of low and we're missing a defender. Where is cash in? Well, okay, it seems we did cash in on his release clause as he goes to Arsenal. And you and me saw that right, didn't we? We saw 160 million given to us as our budget. 280 million pounds. We've got to get Champions League this year. If not, win the league. Look at our lineup. We've got Andrea, who can be benched to get a big centre-back in. Also, a CDM. Palhinha came in. Seems like he hasn't worked because even Liam Thompson's took over. And he took over him in the first place. So straight to the signatures. I'm hoping Palhinha can have a word with Ignacio to bring him to Derby County. As here he is, arriving at the club. That one was straightforward. A brilliant player for a brilliant new team. As I believe we've already probably bridged the gap between us and the Champions League spots. But I'm gonna keep on signing. As the next player we've signed from the rivals, Gaspar de Ridder, backup goalkeeper, who was their first choice, you know, trolling them a little bit. As the big summer signing though, Declan Rice. He didn't actually cost much due to his age and contract, but I think already we're set with a team. That's right, with 123 million still left in Derby's bank account, Frank Lampard has concluded his business for this year. As ultimately, look at the man. What is he gonna do with that much money, apart from win the Europa League? Of course, if I'm honest with you, that's all I want at this moment. I want a bit of silverware after missing the Conference League. And we're 3rd in the Premier League in a very vague and very short kind of title charge, I guess. 7 points is kind of short, but at the same time, it's Man City as we went unbeaten in our Europa League group. Almost maximum points as I'm looking at the team here and I'm seeing a problem with Mason Mount. That shouldn't happen with Lampard. Seems like the problem has arisen because of Thompson's good work. And I mean, I'll put Thompson back in. Derby through and through. Move Rice ahead. Yeah, or actually we could change the formation altogether. Go and pick the defensive one. That is a lot better as we're going into this second half of the season looking for trophies. Come on then, and let's see these trophies. I said we were chasing City, but they finish below us as Arsenal win it on 75 points. That's a very low tally, and to say we weren't exactly up there, majorly disappointing again. We should have a good team, as in the FA Cup we got beat in the semi-finals, but Carabao, I have already seen it. We've got 2 Carabao Cups now as we beat Arsenal in that, but we've got to check the Europa League, which we lost on penalties to Bordeaux Glimt, are you having a laugh, lads? I didn't even realise we lost. How have we let that happen? How, with this squad, we've got 290 rated players and a lot over 85. I mean, even on the front page of our players right here, we've got Andreas Nemeth, an 87 rated. He's been on our bench all year. But still, I guess we've got to be proud. We've got goal scorers all around the squad, as even Harry Wilson hitting 10. So yeah, Champions League season here. And we have got a team here that is Champions League seasoned. What I mean by that is the ratings are absolutely generational. We could do with a few more. And of course, bench players. Sick of talking about players just for the bench, but we've got 330 million. And that is getting spent. As one player I intend on getting in to replace an Italian is an Italian himself, in Alessandro Bastoni. As getting this man in is going to replace Alessandro. I never thought about that. It's not just replacing an Italian player, but one with the same name, as we've got 290 rated plus now as our back two. We should be solid, but still, I just want more. And Kai Havertz has returned back to Bayer Leverkusen where he started off. But judging how hard Frank Lampard tried to sign this guy for Chelsea, it wouldn't be a Lampard save without getting him back to Derby. So the player he wanted so desperately is back. As Lamps has got his man. He's got his man pointing to him. He's thinking, I've been chasing you at every team I've been at. But of course, I won't blame you thinking, Max, where is he going to play? You've got DMs in the formation. Well, I don't actually know. All I know is I wanted this player, and he's at the club anyway. I let the CPU decide how he fits into our squad somehow, as I don't want to make that decision, and I think we've done business. Still got 200 left. Cashin really didn't have to leave, because we've always had excess money since the moment he stepped in as our Champions League group. Juventus, PSV and Lech Poznan. Teams that I think we should have beaten, but did we beat them? That is the question. Second in the Premier League. What do we have to do to be top? We've won it in different positions to this, as I don't want to check the cups at this point. The only cup I care about is the Champions League, which we're through in. We came second in our group. Okay, Juventus won it. At least two black and white teams go through. And I think we've still got the better draw. They ended up getting Liverpool, as we've got this team to head to Napoli. I've got to be quietly confident, haven't I? As I saw no need for any, well, new signings into the squad. We've got some very good ratings, but only a draw at Pride Park. That's got me feeling a bit worried, but naturally worried anyway. I'm worried about every single game we play, as brought her at the death. Don't know if you saw who scored for them as well. Gardner Hickman, just before the last minute goal that we got, as we've got Nice in the next round. I'm gonna make the joke by saying we got a Nice draw right there, but we draw with them. Kai Havertz gets us out of danger, as it's trouble again when we shouldn't need it. Come on, lads, we've got to go through in this competition. 4-3 on aggregate again. Just none of that again, please, as we've got Inter in the next round. Of course, we took their best player, Bastoni. Can we make the UCL final? I mean, come on, we do have a very stacked Derby County side as it stands. First leg against Inter, we find ourselves behind. So it isn't a draw on game number one, but game number two isn't either. Kai Havertz with the late goal and Nemeth off the bench. I told you our team is stacked, and even on the bench, our subs both score. Which leads us to a final against, of course, Paris Saint-Germain. They got beat by Dortmund the other night. And I've also got their kit on, as hopefully I can beat them in their own gear, as this is how our team looks. Look at the 90 rated. Look at them. We've got 4 players that aren't 90 rated. Going through the squad hub, wow, a 93, a 92, 2 91s, and a plethora of 90s. I checked Borja was the top scorer with 27 goals, as we only just finished second this year. Shame we might not win the Premier League if it doesn't go to another season, as Leeds are having a good season, aren't they? They've got Champions League football, and we lost in the Carabao Cup, losing in our own competition that we've won twice before. But as long as we can win this big game, I don't care about the Carabao Cup. As here we go, Super Frank against the Super Parisians. They will have a strong squad, but we have to play stronger. As let's give it our all here. I actually missed kickoff to this game. And Bradley Barcola, I think that was, instantly tackled. Great stuff by Bastoni and a little bit of decent passing there. Of course, we're defensive with the formation, but out of the defense, we need to be good, as that's a brilliant ball from one of our defenders. As Banda, chip that in. A header, please. Rice has to do better. He has to keep the ball under control, as here he is again. Declan into Barrow, the Scotsman, as that is a brilliant ball out to Tyreek Mitchell. Of all people, Daka through to Borja. Borja to strike. Nice little start for County. We're absolutely all over PSG, as we do have a really good team, of course. Hit that on the first time, Thompson. That would have been glorious. Of course, he is a Derby man, and I tried to get away from everyone, and it's now to Mbappe. He's got around us easily. He's absolutely shredded Tyreek Mitchell. Bradley Barcola. Stopped by Mingueza. Seems like both teams have now grown into this game a bit. As look at the movement. Passing to centre mid was amazing. Declan Rice with a bit of strength and a very good gallop forward. Straight onto Amano Broja, who's around his man. Broja, he's got to score the Albanian, and he does score. Bottom corner. 1-0 to Derby County. An ex-Chelsea player fed by another ex-Chelsea player in Declan Rice. But it's the man Lampard had before that scores for him at County. Very good finish, that one, and at the time the doctor ordered, that was a very bad slide from Declan Rice. Or was it Declan Rice? I think it was Alessandro Bastoni. Followed through, missed the tackle, and it's going to be a yellow card. My heart just literally stopped. Can't have another moment like that, as oh dear, he might have to make a tackle here, you know. As Water round the ball, it's Bergvall, and it's in the goal. It's just straight down the middle of it. Level with PSG, as it has been an even game. Not going to take much time to, of course, dwell on their goal. Half time is here, and it is all square. Just got to somehow find that breakthrough, as that was a good initial tackle, but oh dear. It's PSG attacking straight away. It's into Trent Alexander-Arnold, into Kylian Mbappe. He's got away from every single man. They're toying with us here. Jada, he has the ball in to Thompson in the middle, and that is a good ball from Barron. Declan Rice cannot miss. Opened his body up and still hit the keeper. Donnarumma haunting the Englishman all the way from the Euros, as Walter's gone in, and he has skied the biggest chance. Oh, you've got to score that, Walter. I know you're not even on my team, but I fancy anyone to bury that. As can we score from their move? That is a brilliant pass through. Offside, Jada. Can't be getting caught like that all the time. As Thompson, let's go. Let's create another chance, though. Jada turning provider. It is Broja through again. He's got to try and beat Donnarumma, and he has slid it under the big keeper for 2-1 Derby. Let's take another look at this one, shall we? A kind of Vinicius goal that he scored against Bayern in real life. Threaded through and in. As Armando Broja proving to be an absolute brilliant player. He almost had another chance there. We've just got to keep them out for 13 minutes. As I'm going to try and get Havertz on if I do have time at any moment. As Jada is fed through. Armando Broja. We had to try it still, of course. As Declan Rice feeds it into Tyreek Mitchell. Let's see out this game. Not long to go now, as Lee Kang-in needs stopping. It's through to Kylian Mbappe, and Bastoni with the big tackle. Tyreek Mitchell in the middle as he whacks it away, and the referee decides to bring end to the play. As Derby County players approach the field, I feel sorry for Havertz and Nemeth that they never come on, but their club wins the Champions League. What a fantastic achievement. What a brilliant occasion, as we're going to get everyone onto this podium. Who was the captain after Cashin left? Oh, of course, it's Bastoni, and he deserves to lift this trophy after that brilliant tackle that he put in late on in the game, of course. Black and white ribbons I do love to see, as there is the trophy. Brilliant for the Rams, coming up from League One. As if you want to see any other teams get lifted up like Derby here, click one of these videos or comment down below.